Hey guys, Dennis here.
Again.
Muddy Water Search and Recovery. And what a day.
It was fun.
And you see, Chrissy's not here with us tonight. Chrissy had some things that she needed to get taken care of today. So she is off doing that. She may join us in the comments. Still not 100% on that. But let's talk about today. This morning, our plans was to go to Atchison, Kansas to do sonar search for Billy and Mary Black. And Megan had some stuff she had to take care of this morning. So I was going to go up and do the sonar search myself on that case in this particular area. They had gotten rain yesterday. So the ground was soft. There was the concern of ruts, etc., going across the field to the pond. So I agreed to hold off on that search until that dries up a bit. So at that point, we decided, let's go search for Randy. So hey Catfish, how are you? So at this point, we made the decision that there was the area on Cedar Creek that we felt we still needed to sonar to clear a particular area of deep water we found last time we were there.
Yep.
This time we show up.
There's no water.
The water was very low. If you've seen the video that we put up while we were out there, that and some of our live feeds today was very rushed and were not the best quality, but we wanted to keep you guys up to date with what was happening today. Ponytail, Brent, how y'all doing? So,
Dan.
Hey Dan, how are you? So while at Cedar Creek this time, we were actually able to walk all the way down to the Kansas River.
Yep.
When we were there before, we could only go about 10 feet down the bank and the water was all the way up.
Yep.
And the area we wanted to sonar this time, there wasn't 2.5 feet of water in that area, and we could see the bottom 90% of the creek. We could see the bottom of it.
Yeah.
And it is a very rocky bottom, in the rocks there. It's not your little gravel and sand mixed. It's big rocks all through the bottom of that creek. And I feel 90% of that creek, there's no car there.
Yeah, it was so shallow that if it wasn't so cold, we could have walked right through it.
And I know when Adventures with Purpose done their video going downstream, they were having issues because it was shallow. And Chuckles for Life, how are you?
Hi, Jen.
Jen, first live I've been able to catch. Well, welcome. We're glad to have you on here with us. And Dan, I'm going to see if I can get list like I sent you for as many states as I can. I was mind blown with it. Dan, that was a lot of names for one state. That blew me away.
Sad.
But where Adventures with Purpose went and we're having trouble, that some of that appeared to be the deepest part of the creek right now.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, it was obvious they had trouble going through there. That not only mention it, you can see the boat having trouble.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty convinced there's not a vehicle there either. But we will be going back when there's enough water to sonar, because it was so shallow. What little bit we could have got the boat in, we couldn't have sonared anyway. And then seeing the bottom. So we will be going back to sonar looking for other evidence. This is where the burlap bags of body parts were found. Mm-hmm. So we will be looking for other evidence that most likely will be to a different case. I don't feel we're going to find anything related to Randy's case there, but still not comfortable ruling it out completely.
Yeah.
But we found an old boat.
Yeah, that surprised me.
And we wanted to walk to the river because we had been sent a photograph of that area and it had the coordinates on it. And when the water was there, it looked like it could have been a small vehicle in the water there.
Yeah.
And turns out it was that boat.
It was a boat the whole time.
And I went back in, I pulled up the photos we had saved, the coordinates, and then confirmed it with the coordinates on the ground, and it was spot on being that boat. And Dan, I agree 100% on that. And Brent, we checked the Burns Pond today with magnet and GoPro by boat. Nothing magnetic in the pond. I think the car-shaped object in there was part of an old structure that is used to stand on the opposite side. And Brandon, Brent's brother. Hey guys, how you doing, Brandon? And Brent, that is awesome information. And so glad you guys were able to get out and do that today. And thank you to those who gave you permission to do that. That goes a long ways there. And that is awesome because I know a lot of people have questioned that particular property. So that's awesome. Somebody was able to get answers on that. And Jen updated the map with that information.
Stop waiting for her.
Okay, tell her to try again now because it is going now. Sorry guys, Chrissy's messaging. She couldn't get this to upload, so we're going to have her try again so she can jump in on the messages as well. She was really upset that she wasn't able to join us today out there, but
it doesn't help that it's snowing and sleeting and all that kind of crap right now, so she doesn't want to really get out in it. So.
And that was the other thing today.
Oh.
The weather, when we went, we were looking on our phone, the weather apps, and we determined we had enough time to get out there, search Cedar Creek, possibly check another couple areas before any of the weather moved in. Mm-hmm. We got Cedar Creek checked. We left there. We went to another location. We got eyes on this one. We don't have permission to search this particular area yet, but that is in the works. So we went from there. We're going to a spot between DeSoto and Bonner Springs. Note still just spinning.
Hi, Christy.
And we get between DeSoto and Bonner Springs, and first starts raining.
Yeah.
And we start driving through that for just a couple minutes, and it went from rain to straight ice.
Well, that was after the thunder and the lightning, and then it started icing on us.
And within a couple minutes, the road, we were sliding everywhere. When we made it up to K7 and Parallel Parkway, ain't that where that car spun around?
I was a little before that.
We had a vehicle on the other side of the highway, just on the ice coming down the hill, spin completely around. Thankfully, they were able to keep it on the road. Everybody appeared to be okay, and they were able to go on. But we had ice coming down, still dew, still snow. Everything's white outside. It come in so quick today, and at least an hour before our weather apps are saying it would be there. the best place to check weather is airport weather. I didn't even think about that.
I will write that down.
There's Chrissy. Hi, guys. Whoops, LOL. Saying Chrissy wanted to be there with us today, but she will be out there next time, I'm sure of it.
Yep.
And I'm still on this area on Billy and Mary Black. I was really hoping to get to search that today.
Yeah.
But, you know, hopefully this coming weekend will be nice. And hey, guys, great effort today. Hey, Brent, that's great.
Hey, Mark.
Hey, Mark, I'm excited that Brent and them was able to get that information today. That's incredible.
Yeah. We'll be in the water tomorrow at 45 degrees. Ooh, that's cold.
Right now, I think I would take 45 degrees. So.
Yeah. It sucks. It was, almost 80 a few days ago. Now we're getting ice. Gotta love the Midwest.
But yeah, Cedar Creek, in my opinion, we still cannot rule it out. I don't think there's a vehicle there, but
yeah.
So we will be continuing to work on that area as well as the multiple areas we have on Randy's case.
Yeah.
So what do you think about Stranger Creek total with what we saw today? If you had to, Cedar Creek, yeah, if you had to sum it up.
Honestly, I don't think we're going to find a vehicle in there. Because even before, or the last time we checked, it was still pretty shallow. But certain parts of it were really deep. But seeing today, I don't think there's a vehicle. But I can't rule out a body, maybe. Because I just don't know.
Being the history with the burlap bags.
Yeah, that's what keeps throwing me off is the burlap bags. Sorry.
Want to come say hi?
No.
Don't be
come
shy.
on. Yeah, the burlap bags, that just, it's odd. And then them never saying anything about it.
And Jen out at Stranger Creek or Cedar Creek, I would have to say no. It's all rock, and it's big rock. It's not small gravel. It's big rock, including some that are just monstrous sized.
There's a piece out there that's like the size of a door.
Hey, Alex, how are you doing? And the way a lot of these rocks are in that creek makes me think if a vehicle went in, they're going to butt up to those rocks and likely not go much further.
Yeah. Has anyone checked off the boat ramp by TP Junction in Lawrence that goes into the river off 24 Highway?
And Brent, we have not checked that yet. It is on our list of areas to search, but we have not been to that location yet.
There's Chrissy.
She says, now I see everything. And John says that, Brent, great job. Good man. Absolutely. That's incredible. That is. And Catfish says, I don't see no cars in that creek either, Dennis. And Dan says the burlap bags would almost tie to the idea of rituals.
Yeah.
There is a report that back in that time frame, somebody spoke to Bonner Springs Police and had mentioned satanic rituals, burlap bags, Cedar Creek.
Yep.
And then later down the road, three burlap bags of body parts were found in Cedar Creek.
Yeah, that's a little coincidental.
And to this day, I still have not found any reports other than the initial finding of those bags that says anything else about them.
Yeah. I mean, I know it was back in the day, but you could still do research on them and figure out who they are, not just disregard it.
Why were the three bags kept so quiet? I think that would draw at least a news article. It has never been reported. Exactly.
Yeah.
That is a huge question there. And I know, correct me if I'm wrong here, but when we talked to Alberta, didn't she mention that they had asked the detectives about those and they never got an answer on that either?
Yes. Okay.
And I've heard the report that the bones in the burlap bags were animal bones.
Okay. Any ponds that were dirty can be cleaned up over a few days with lime or stuff found online. It makes water crystal clear. They won't release it because they don't want panic. Yeah.
Well, maybe back to Stranger and run the whole thing in April, way up past Route 32 and the other spot we talked about once that ice chunks goes away. Absolutely. And Mark, the river was clearing up nicely. Hopefully it continues to be that way. I mean, when we went over it the other day, we didn't see any ice. Was there?
No, it was mostly gone. So, yeah.
So hopefully it stays that way. I know this week we're supposed to be above freezing.
Yeah.
So hopefully it stays that way because I want to get that other spot we discussed checked before the water levels come up. It will be a lot easier right now.
Oh.
Yeah, Catfish, it's a Pepsi tonight. And Brandon, it's hard to say. I mean, I haven't found any reports either way on it. And I mean, it very easily could be animal bones.
Yeah. I just don't understand them keeping it quiet. If it's just animal bones, then say that.
And going back to what John said here, cleaning up the ponds that are dirty, you know, that stuff, it works great. And there is, I don't know the name of it, but there is a product that can be used to clear water like that and not harm any of the fish or the wildlife in the area as well. I used to be a brick mason, and a house we were laying brick on out in the county had a pond that was just filthy, but it had decent sized fish in it. So he got this stuff and put in. It cleared the pond up. I mean, within a couple days, it was clear. And Dan says, I thought there were skulls in the bags. I don't know what bones were actually in there. I did see a report that it was human, but I didn't see details on what the bones were. I know there was a skull found not far from Linwood.
Mm-hmm.
And when the Leaches got word of that, they actually went there while the detectives were still there. And eventually they were told that that skull belonged to a female.
Yeah.
The police did acknowledge the bags in a police statement, but a follow-up isn't in the leaked documents. Is Brent the guy that did the driving videos on Facebook? If so, thank you. They are super helpful to get a lay of the land. You can also use a bale of straw to clear a pond as well. And Brandon says, yes, Mark, that's the same Brent that did the videos driving on Facebook. And I agree, those videos were really nice, really helpful. And he would explain where he was going and everything. And you got a nice layout of the area. And Brent says, I have another large pond in that area that I have access to search. It probably needs sonar. Well, Brent, if you'd like us to come out and help you on any of that, absolutely get a hold of us. We'd be more than happy to come out there with you.
Yep.
Now, I want to look to see if there is a shooting range out there by Cedar Creek, because there were so many gunshots out there today. It was crazy. But being down so far down in the creek bed, good grief.
Sorry, guys. Give us a minute. He says, yes, DeSoto has a range right across the river.
Okay, that makes sense then. We apologize about these comments that were popping up. I think I've got those blocked off of here now.
Whoever posted the highlighted pictures of the water areas was also helpful.
Yes. And then also the guy that come in from Florida and brought his drone in, he got some incredible footage with that drone.
Okay, I'm very hopeful the pond on Golden Road west of the party site turns something up. It really looks like a vehicle in there. It's weighed on my mind heavily since coming across it.
And Danny, I think I know what pond you're talking about, but do you have the coordinates or the address for that pond? Or is that one that you or maybe one of the others here have sent over to us? And straight across. Okay, yeah, that's where we heard them coming from. So that's what that was. And Mark says, so Brent, do you consider the Burns Pond cleared, or do you think Dennis should run it with the sonar next trip in town? Yeah, because if anybody's doing a search anywhere on Randy's case, if you'd like us to come out, we'd be more than happy to come out there with you guys.
Yep. Like we've said before, you guys help us. So you guys are the reason that we get quite a bit done, because you guys are so helpful. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. I was thinking we had that. If so, that is on our list to try to search that area, Danny. And that's one of them high up on my list as well.
Yep. And
Brent says, I would consider the Burns Pond cleared. My brother was with me on this, and it was shallow and clear.
I'd say if Brent thinks it's good, it's good.
Yeah, because in all ponds, if over 6 foot deep, should be sonared.
Yep.
Agree. And Brandon agreed that he would consider it cleared as well.
Yep.
And I really had my doubts on the Burns property as well.
Yeah. But we had to check everything.
And I'm glad they did that. And while some people would be let down that nothing was found, it's not pointless because it's an area that, you know, they searched it, it's cleared, there was nothing there. And that helps narrow the other search areas. Catfish says it's going to be 64 there tomorrow.
You're not nice, Bobby.
Dan says anything on the Bishop property. Dan, I believe there is something with that is in the works. And Burns, good dudes, but maybe Randy drove over there and drove into the pond on accident, so now it's cleared.
Yeah.
And I'd agree with that. That would be about the only way I saw Randy's vehicle being in there, would be him driving in by accident.
Yeah.
So we'll be able to mark that off as cleared as well. And that one area on Cedar Creek, I think needs, since sonar wasn't an option due to it being shallow, there is an area there that I think, if nothing else, a magnet needs thrown in.
Mm-hmm.
Brandon says we'll work on Bishop. Right, because Bishop is another one that I don't personally think they are involved with any foul play with Randy's case.
Yeah.
But any pond in the area is a pond of question because it is in the area.
Yeah.
And if they would let it be sonared and cleared, then everybody would know, hey, not there. You know, everything's good. And Jim should be at my house this weekend for a card party.
That's cool.
I need to start having a card party. And going over our notes from today while we were out there, Montgomery had full access to that property. It has nothing to do with the Bishops, if anything found there. I agree with that 100%. I mean, there could be something there that the family has no idea about.
Yeah.
And that is something that I'm seeing in a lot of the ponds out there. Most of these are back away from the house. You can access them from different angles. That something could be in a pond and the landowner never even know anybody was back there or anything is in there.
Yeah.
And then there's a lot of ponds that it's very easy could be an accident. That pond in the back of the Bishops is huge.
Yeah.
And if he ends up jumping on here tonight, or if he watches this here in a little while, Byron, we were almost back home and I had a message go through on my phone and then a voicemail comes through on my phone. He wanted to meet up with us there in DeSoto.
Yeah.
And I did not get those messages in time. I did contact him, message him, and let him know. But Byron, I apologize for that.
Yeah.
And I I would love the opportunity to meet you. I was kind of let down on that because I want to meet him. Seems like a good guy.
Yep. They're all good guys. Again, you guys are just awesome. You guys make all of this. How do I want to put that? They make it. You guys feel like we're actually doing something when you guys jump on and help us and that kind of stuff.
It brings about the teamwork.
There we go. Teamwork. That's the word I was trying to think of.
And Catfish says, fact, if a pond is 7 to 8 foot deep, the mud in the bottom is 2 feet deep, so a car or truck could settle at least a foot. And found a great site with very clear imagery I share with you guys.
Okay.
Awesome.
Cool.
Appreciate that. There's Byron. What's up, everybody? Just now being able to hop on. Have I missed much? Byron, you just missed me apologizing by not getting your message in time today. And we were discussing being out at Cedar Creek, and I keep saying stranger, but Cedar Creek. And that's probably the lowest I have seen Cedar Creek.
Yeah.
But I think we will probably put this off until sometime in April. I do think we need to get on Stranger Creek and go ahead and sonar that one more time. I think Adventures with Purpose done a great job sonaring Stranger. They had the magnetometers out from the bridge down to the river, and there were no hits.
Yep.
But also, I know how the bottom of the Kansas River constantly changes.
Yeah.
This being so close to the Kansas River, there's a possibility that it's going to change. Other holes on Stranger Creek will fill up and new ones will appear. So just in case things have shifted to where something will pick up on sonar, I do want to go ahead and hit Stranger Creek and go as far as we can on it.
Hey, Tamara.
Byron, it's all good. Hopefully catch you next time for sure.
Yes.
I hope so. That would be awesome.
Today was just crappy day for searches because of the weather.
And from the looks of your previous video, why would you revisit Cedar Creek again? We had went upstream from the boat ramp that time, and someone had sent us a image off of Google Earth that looked like the back end of a vehicle with the bumper sticking up. So we went out to clear that, and we found that area was a pretty deep hole through there. So we wanted to go back out today to check that particular spot to see if there was something there. And then today, you could see the bottom all the way through there. So the water was at least 4 foot higher, deeper in that area last time we were there than it was today.
Yeah.
And that's where I'd held my boat oar underwater and could not hit the bottom. So that's why we wanted to get back in to check that particular area. And then today, the search for Randy was very spontaneous, as we had planned on looking for Billy and Mary Lou Black today. So we decided to go back to there to try to clear that particular area. And Byron, it was also last minute. That and trying to beat the weather that we thought was coming in later in the day. And will you do Stranger from 32 to Cantrell? There are a few areas in between where AWP scanned that weren't scanned, but could have areas of interest for foul play. Jen, yes, we will start down by the river and work our way up as far as possible.
Sorry, he's checking messages.
There we go.
Sorry for the confusion. Why would you consider revisiting after today?
After today, it's not so much for Randy's case, although the FAR area we can't fully rule out just yet. But I don't feel there's really going to be anything there related to Randy's case. But down the road, we will be going back looking for evidence on a couple other cases we're working that Cedar Creek is in the general vicinity, and their cases did not involve a vehicle being involved. So we want to check it thoroughly in case there is any evidence related to those cases as well. Has anyone checked for any arson cases in the area during that time period? Only so many ways to make a car vanish into thin air. That is a good point. I didn't think
about that. I wrote that down. See, that's something else we didn't consider.
Dennis, you got a great crew tonight. Yeah, it seems like most of the heavy hitters are on here tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a couple of them we're missing on here. And Stranger from 32 to Cantrell has strainers and log jams, need a canoe to go very far north of 32. And John, I'm actually considering getting a kayak to use to go on Stranger. In Southern Gospel Gal, where you at? LOL. And Catfish says, yes, Marky does. I'm here. LOL.
See, I like it when everybody's here because it lets me know that everybody's okay.
And Catfish is talking to me about some of the catfish he's seen while recovering some sunken boats down there. Missy Scott, how you doing, Missy?
Hi, Missy.
And one of these days, we're going to have to go down where Catfish is at and work a case or two there and go catfishing with them while we're down there.
I'm game.
But yeah, Cedar Creek, we will eventually be going back there, but that is no longer what I would consider a pressing search that needs to be done, especially on Randy's case.
Yeah.
We're using a Hummingbird sonar. Still not the sonar that I want.
Yeah.
But it gets the job done. Muddy Waters and the Holidays need to meet up for breakfast to discuss. We're all in Leavenworth County. Brandon, we are wide open to that.
Sounds good.
And he beat me because I was going to say I'll buy. Danny Lawrence World Journal reports daily police and fire reports from 88. I didn't find anything, but maybe I missed something. We're going to check that out as well. And Alex says, great info tonight. And Alex, when you have the caliber of people that we have commenting over here, it's just incredible. And Missy says we still need to have the video chat. Missy, we will get that lined up. And Missy, then Lisa, we're going to be lining up the live feed over on the Facebook page with Lisa to discuss Aaron Key's case and some of the other Tennessee cases as well. Let's see, let me look at the rest of today, see if I'm leaving anything out. Okay, I think we covered Cedar Creek.
Bobby.
I could sure use a 32-ounce T-bone, baked potato, salad, and coffee too, Dennis. Catfish, you count me in on that as well. 32-ounce. I don't know if I could put a 32-ounce down.
That's pretty big.
But I'm interested in that on the arson cases around that time frame. And did you get another Helix 7? No, Byron. A Helix 7 is what I want. But right now we've got a Piranha with down image. But the Helix 7 we will be moving back up to shortly. Very shortly, hopefully.
Yeah. I'll treat you to a Mickey too.
And Missy, yes, I did get those, and we're going over those. And when Chrissy is able to come back over, we'll be going through all of that again as well. In fact, one evening this week, we're probably going to sit down together and go over a lot of different things that have come in and discuss those. Some of the things we're going to be able to start taking steps on. If I can get this out straight. I know we had some information that we're going to need to move pretty quick on. And possibly this coming weekend.
What do you have as far as a metal detector? I don't know the brand you have.
I don't have the brand.
Who's buying the Taco Bell? You have a pretty good one. I just don't know the brand of it.
And who is buying the Taco Bell?
Yeah.
We just had that the other night.
Yes, we did. I was too lazy to cook dinner, so we had Taco Bell.
My wife also helped in today's search on the Burns Pond. Please say hi to Katie.
Hi, Katie.
Hi, Katie. How are you doing?
Thank you for your help today. Thank you for your searching today. There we go.
And Brandon, when you got a lady that will get out on stuff like this with you, you have got a keeper.
Yep.
And Missy said, oh, that's not fair.
Where are you going?
And Missy, I've got you some Taco Bell sauce here. And Fisher has the one with underwater capability to detect. I want that one, Chuckles. That is on our list of items that we do plan on getting. Catfish, well, y'all, time for me to turn in. Have to be at the lake by 7 a.m. to start getting these boats out tomorrow. So good night to all. Catfish, you have a good night and you be safe tomorrow.
Yes. Good night, Bobby. Okay, we did take video of everything we did today and was going to edit and post, but it was very anticlimactic. Katie video. I'm sure she did great. Mine is rigged and ready to go on the inflatable. That's cool. Fisher has one with underwater capability. You just said that.
Yeah, I want one of those.
Okay. Brandon, I did very well in the wife department. Good. I am very happy for you. Thanks, Katie. Every job needs a manager. Yep.
Here's my manager. Great, Brent and Katie. Thank you for your time today.
Yes. And Missy, you made Missy cry.
I'm sorry, Missy. I won't go into how good it was. I think we lost Chrissy again.
I think so.
Seeing having Megan with me on a search helps keep me grounded because I may do something stupid on a search or something that's probably a safer way to do it. And you're not doing that.
Yeah.
Missy, wow, just wow. Oh, Chrissy, no, I'm here.
You're being too quiet, Chrissy. Say something.
And Brandon, just get a hold of us. We'll get a time set up, and we would love to come out and meet up with you guys. Missy, Byron says, Missy, I'll buy LOL. Just take a couple hours to get there. I love some late night Taco Bell. And Brandon, where else did you visit today after Cedar Creek? There were two areas in particular. One of those we still can't release the location on. And the second one, right now, the property owner doesn't want us saying exactly where it is, but one of these areas is in DeSoto itself. And the other one is about halfway between DeSoto and Bonner Springs.
Chrissy, I think it's kind of a good thing you weren't there with us today because you would have seen me almost fall into the water. I was bent over trying to look at something off the boat ramp and my foot slipped.
Yeah, we did find a flat screen computer monitor about 2 feet out in the water.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Catfish done jumped off, but he would have liked to have been there. Somebody caught a lot of fish out there.
Yeah. They ate good.
Missy says, Byron, it might take more than a few hours. Hey, but if it's a drive for Taco Bell, it's worth it.
Cleared or just checked out?
Just checked out. One of those we will be going to a ground penetrating radar, and the second one is a sonar search. And we will The one that's the ground penetrating radar, we will be able to share that once it's searched, and we have been given the okay to share that. And the other one, we're hoping that the property owner will let us announce where we searched, especially if it's clear. That's kind of in their interest. So they don't have more people knocking on the door trying to get permission to search their area.
Yeah. Yes,
Speak-
Tamara, I'm fine. I didn't fall. I'm good.
Speaking of fish, pretty sure there are no fish in the Burns Pond.
I could probably get you access to the quarry pond and caves. Ooh, that
would be awesome. That would be awesome. And Brent, we'll pay for his. We'll pay for his as well. Be careful to not spread yourselves too thin. You all have so many caseloads that you are working. It has to be exhausting.
It does get exhausting and confusing because some of them all run together.
But Monday through Friday, I go to work. I come home. I spend time with Megan and the kids. If something comes in, I may need to jump on for just a bit, but I make sure to spend time with the family. The kids normally go to bed around 9 o'clock-ish. And normally at that point, from 9 o'clock till probably 12:30 is when I'm really digging in on these cases. And then it's going to bed to go at it again the next day.
Yeah, I mean, I'm home during the day working on stuff here, but I may not be as vocal as Denny, but I do quite a bit of work on these too. So when he gets home, I bombard him with stuff. So
What about that pond south of the property in a little east? That guy was talking about online. He swears he sees a car in there. Mark, I'm going to have to check that out.
What is it?
Pond south of the party in a little east. And Byron, definitely, there are some interesting pictures there. And we do have the coordinates to most, if not all of those as well. And Tamara, yes, we are looking at routes that we would normally think he would least likely take, just based off the fact that those areas probably have not been searched or searched very hard. So we are looking at the alternative routes that he may have taken. Jen says, Mark, was it on the same street as the party? And Misty, still y'all do what you can, and that's way awesome. Brent, we all appreciate your energy and time.
We do too.
Absolutely. And guys, I want to reiterate again on here, if I said that word right. Mm-hmm. I have people reaching out to me, and it's different people daily. Some are just coming across this kind of thing. Some have been following for a while, and they tell me, we want to be out on the ground searching. We feel bad that we can't. It might be health reasons. It might be time issues. And they feel bad that they're not able to get out on the ground. But they're digging into the cases. They're getting information out to the teams that can be on the ground. And that is just as important as the teams on the ground, in my opinion. And like Brent, Brent being out searching, if somebody was to contact Brent and say, hey, man, this area is of interest to me, I've got no doubt Brent's going to try to go search that. And just the teamwork involved, it takes teamwork. And the teamwork we have seen since we've started this has been incredible.
Definitely.
And Mark says, it is a pond in the woods south of the party and north of Golden. That's the pond Danny was talking about earlier, I believe. We had to remember much of the satellite imagery available on Google Maps, etc., can be 2 to 3 years old. A great way to judge the age is to look at your own house in the maps.
Yeah.
And that is a very good way to judge the age of that image.
Mm-hmm.
And then also with Google Earth imagery, satellite imagery, a lot of times the time of day it was taken, the angle. I've seen images that come from satellite imagery that look identical to a vehicle. I mean, you can make out the details on it and it turned out to be a log.
Yep.
Or there's what appears to be a log and it turns out to be a vehicle. I mean, water itself looking into distorts everything anyway, and then a satellite picture. So anything that is picked up on a satellite image really needs to be looked at just because of that distortion.
Yeah.
And Google Map images can be deceiving. I realize this today.
Oh, yeah.
And Brandon, it's the times that you would least likely expect it that it turns out that it's a vehicle or something. So I'm always on the hunt for alternative, newer satellite sites. I've got some saved on my computer, different sites, and I will try to get those sent over to you to see if you have those or not. And is there a way to see the date on the Google Maps image? I have not seen a date on those.
Mm-mm. There might be, but I don't know.
So what we can do, we can build our own satellite and send up and get real time.
Excuse me.
So when it comes to Randy, we now have the Burns property, thanks to them, that can be marked clear. And Cedar Creek, when it comes to Randy's case, I'm pretty confident that that one's clear.
Yeah. You know how many faces of demons and other objects show up in the foliage of trees? Sometimes that's when I say I've been staying at trees too long. Yes.
And I've said it before, but I use a Hunt Stand app for it. I did use it for obviously hunting, and it's got the satellite imagery on it. You can put a thumbnail on there, put all the information about that particular location. We've switched over now, and we're using that for our search and recovery and marking locations we need to search. And you can color code it. So if we searched it, if it's cleared, we can mark it cleared and stuff. But that site has been incredibly helpful. I do have the paid version on it, so we get all the property owner details off of that now. And that has been a big help. camera on Google Earth Pro, there on the bottom of image and where the image source is from. The Bing Maps has that bird's eye view function, which works nice. Yes, I love that bird's eye view function. And do you plan to search stranger north of the 32 bridge? Brandon, yes, that is in our plans to do. There is an area on 32 that as it rounds the corner, there's a small field that drops down into the creek. That if somebody was coming around that too fast and driven off, there is a chance that they could have driven off into the creek there. So we definitely want to search north of 32. I had a detective tell me that the Microsoft images are the clearest. So right now, depending on the weather, again, the plans are for the coming weekend is Saturday, make it to Atchison to search for Billy and Mary Black. And then if there's time after that, jump over on another search on Randy. And then Sunday, at the moment, is in the air. It's too far for me to try to plan the entire weekend.
Yeah.
But we will know later in the week what that day is looking like as well. But Billy and Mary Black, I can't get away from that pond. I'm personally confident we will find something there. May not. It may just be wishful thinking, but
they're working on a case in Florida.
so we've got a couple cases that have come in from Florida. I wonder if it's one of those. Brent, where I'm going on their case is in the reports, they were last seen driving away from their house, and the direction that they're driving, there is a pond down that direction that is secluded and easy access. And then there's a couple more ponds not far from there. And I mean, imagery, there was possibly something in the pond, but just on its location alone, the way things show in the reports lined up that day, I'm leaving everything at home, their IDs, their medicines. They let the light on, the TV on, I believe it was, the doors unlocked. I don't think they were going far. And that area, that case, I do wonder a lot if it wasn't a decision to possibly go out together with the medical issues they were having, especially her. He's exhausted from taking care of both of them. I seen he had made a comment to their son that he would be better off without them, and different things like that makes me really consider if they didn't decide to go off together. And where this pond is, very close to the house, very secluded, and looks like a beautiful area. Mm-hmm. So this pond has really had me. I know Adventures with Purpose was in Atchison looking for them, but they focused on the Missouri River that runs through the area. They searched several areas there and come up empty. So we're hoping to get that pond searched Saturday. if it is cleared, there is 2 other ponds we will be searching as well.
Are you guys getting snow this week? No, Tamara, I think it's only supposed to snow like tonight and into tomorrow, and then it's going to be done. Hopefully.
Hopefully done for the season.
I'm sick of snow.
I love snow. Maybe it's because I was born in January, loved the snow my whole life. You can take our snow over to where you're at, and it will make both of us happy.
I love watching it snow, but I want it to melt the minute it hits the ground.
Except Christmas. I want a white Christmas, and then snow be done for the year.
Yeah.
But I used to love the snow, especially hunting season. But I don't know if it's because I'm getting older or what, but I don't much love it anymore.
Mm-mm.
So,
They will
Dill,
take our snow.
You can have
it all.
every bit of snow we're supposed to get except December 24th and 25th.
Yep.
All the rest of it you can have.
Yes.
So, Megan, is there anything else coming to mind to jump on here with?
Not that I can think of. I mean, we talked about our search and that, so.
And Chrissy, if you're still on here, is there anything coming to your mind that we should bring up? Or everyone come back to the live feed, set your alerts, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the live feed.
Yes, thanks, Mark.
And the pond on Golden Road had a tree laid across it, according to Earth Pro aerial in 91. It may be worth inquiring as to how long it was down before being removed, if the landowner remembers. Okay, that's the one that we have on our list.
Oh, okay.
And Chrissy doesn't have anything to add. And if Chrissy gets a free evening this week to swing by, then we will do another live feed that we will probably open that one up to open discussion on any of the cases and have Chrissy here for that one. I have a question. Does anyone know if there was any place in or around Linwood where you can get food after 1 a.m. back in 88?
Well, that's a good question.
What amp hour battery did you use on your Helix 7? I need a new battery that will last the day of searching. Let's see, what battery did I have on that one?
And John said no food after 1 a.m. Yeah, that sounded about right. Yeah, because that's usually what most teens do after a party. Go get food. Okay. According to the AWP interview, why didn't Leanne drive by Randy's house on her search or looking for his car that night? Seems like the first place I would look.
Yeah, Brandon, that is a good question.
There's a lot of stuff about that interview that I question.
Me too, but I try to keep in mind that so much time has gone by.
Okay, Village Inn or Perkins. Blah, blah, blah. Maybe a bakery. They often sell bread also when the shop is still closed. You can't see the car from the road. It was elevated. And Ponytail, wonder if Bonner may have had something open. I don't know. Okay, something interesting I wanted to tell you all. Mike Huffman died in August of 88 in an MVA. He was Kenny's cousin, his brother a few years later, then their father in 2010. That's highly unusual. Wow. And I did a timeline and noticed that Randy had pizza for lunch and only candy bars since, based off of sightings, he didn't have time to eat anything decent, so I thought he might have been trying to get food.
That's a good point.
Yeah. Okay.
And Byron, I'm going through my documents to see what battery I had for that. Okay, I had the 14 is the one that I had for my Helix 7. Agreed, John. Why not go straight to his house if you're looking for him? That's what I like to think I would have done, would have been to go to the house, see if he made it home before spending all of the time that she mentioned out looking elsewhere. And Ponytail, do we know for sure that she didn't go by his house? Maybe I missed something. From what I got from her interview is when she left the Irwin residence, she went to the bridge on 32 where the locals normally went to. And there was a group of Linwood people there where they had moved a party to, and that she had went there looking for him. And I believe she said she drove around a little bit more, but I never seen anything where she drove by, or never heard her say that she drove by his house in that interview. And Byron, yes, I got a full day out of that, which normally the searches that I used it on, do you have a candle lit over there?
Yeah.
Okay. The searches that we used it on, it was a lot of ponds and creeks. So we'd use it here, shut it off, go use it over here. But through that, you know, we got all day doing our searches like that. It ain't gonna let me do it this time.
Just remove it.
That's what I'm saying. It won't.
It's right there.
Oh, there it is. And sorry, guys, I don't know why people's got to come on channels like this that's devoted to finding missing people to share that junk on.
Okay, Mark, the one discrepancy with Leanne's interview that bothered me is that she said her boyfriend left early, but their police statements in 88, Lee, the boyfriend, said they left together. Yeah. And Jen, she said she didn't in the comments of the YouTube video, but those comments have since been deleted. I was the one that asked her. Oh. Okay. Danny, do you know what scrapyard laws require in Kansas as to vehicle inventory coming in? Many require seller information, including addresses of the seller. 34 years ago, after the fact, probably no records left.
There was, coming from a family member of somebody that owned a scrapyard back then, they didn't have near the regulations that they do today.
Yeah.
They didn't, I mean, you didn't have to have a title. Mm-hmm. You can pull up, sell it to them, and
be on your way.
Be on your way.
Okay. It was a long time ago. I found her pretty credible.
Yes, there was a lot of what she said I found credible as well. And I mean, it was 33 years
Yeah,
or so that Randy had been missing that she'd done this interview.
Yeah, I still try and give her the benefit of the doubt because I have problems remembering yesterday and she's trying to remember back 30 some years. So.
And Missy says no more food talk. And make some of us moderators so we can also catch that stuff as well. We're going to have to do that.
Yeah, I'm sick of this crap. Okay, Mike did leave the party. Then also his brother Robert, per Kenny, said Burns said to him who had the car keys. Also look at the comments on older videos and make sure all comments are showing and not most relevant or whatever. Oh.
Okay, I'll go back in and take care of that. Just recently, I learned what to do so the chats would pop up on the lives after they're no longer live. So we will go back through and take care of that then right there.
Sorry. I won't touch. I'm sorry. Okay. I would love... Oh, crap. I really hope I didn't just screw that up.
No, it just added more. There
Sorry. This is why you control the computer. Okay.
Make sure. There we go.
With a town full of meth heads, they would sell that car for a few $100.
Yeah.
Okay. Whoops. Sorry.
And Mark, I would love to get the Burns boys on these live threads. Yes, definitely. To be fair, Leanne stated the same thing on Harold's timeline as she did in the AWP videos. Harold's timeline is at least from prior to 2009. And Byron, I'll volunteer to be a mod and try to do better catching lives. And Brandon says Mike Huffman was not Ken Huffman's brother.
No, he was his cousin. Is that right?
I believe so. Okay, Byron, we're going to add you as a moderator now.
There we go.
And thank you very much. I appreciate that. And if any of you others would want to volunteer to be a moderator as well, just let me know. There were some comments I couldn't find on the Kansas Youth Bass channel where a person with initials PJP left some pretty shocking comments. I sent that info to you guys in Messenger. I appreciate that. I know there was one guy, it's been a while back now. He was a bass fisherman, does a lot of tournaments, and he found a vehicle in a lake, and he was questioning if it was Randy's. So I'd gotten in contact with him at that point in time, and it turned out he was finally able to get a diver in, and they confirmed it was not Randy's vehicle. They did pull that vehicle out. And I got a different phone since then, and I no longer had this guy's contact information, but I would like to get a hold of him again as well. Did you guys see the person who posted the lake off of I-70 yesterday on Facebook? That looks very interesting. I haven't had time to go to my PC to look at historical Earth satellite. No, I did not see that. The picture of that lake on I-70. And Byron, thank you very much.
Also, someone from back then maybe can help figure out whose initials might be as far as a name, perhaps. Yes.
Yes. That is possible. And I wish we knew the location of where they found those shoes. Yes, and Missy, I do want to mention that on here. There is a picture in a report where a shoe was found, and we don't know what area that shoe was actually found in or the date when it was actually found. So if anybody knows that information, please reach out and let us know. It's the exact measurements of his parents' car as well. It's on the Randy Leach Facebook page. Then we will pull that up when we're done on here and take a look at that. And I've heard a lot of noise about a girl named Teresa that Randy supposedly dated. Jeff Times mentioned her in his polygraph test.
Yes, Teresa is a big player in this game.
I can look at my 89 yearbook for some senior 89 students with those name letters if possible. And 1988 juniors.
Come on.
I think that Teresa has been in commenting on Robert Marble's posts. Teresa was a girl he was interested in, but she said she had told Randy that they were just friends like brother and sister. And I've seen where that's what Teresa had reported.
Yeah.
And then you had others that stated that they felt different because how they acted with each other.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I didn't. That's, yeah.
Her name comes up a lot.
Yeah, her name just
of
comes up
things
a
on
lot.
this
I'm
case.
sorry. I worded that wrong. I'm not accusing her of anything.
In the shoe with the foot in it, heard they said it belonged to one of the guys that died not long after. Yeah, the one with the foot in it that was found on the Kansas River did belong to somebody else. But the shoe in question was found in a different location from that.
Yeah. Brandon, I'm sorry. That's not what I meant.
Mark said Steve Dordry in his statement said Randy told him she was good in bed. And I've seen where a couple people had made statements along those lines. 1988 was last year Linwood had for their high school. The next year they merged with Baser.
Yeah, they did.
And I believe the image in question is actually a sunken boat, but it shouldn't be ruled out until eyes are on it. And Mark said, so I think, meaning Randy and Teresa, I think they were together for a bit, then went to a friend relationship. And okay, I haven't heard of that shoe. Thanks.
That was bad.
See, when you said that,
Yeah,
part of it's clicking, and I'm reading, and
I'm sorry. That is not what I meant.
yeah,
It just meant her name comes up a lot. I am not accusing her of anything. No.
It's been a long day.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I apologize. This is why I stay quiet most of the time.
I was a freshman in 89 at
Baser
Linwood High School. Say, you've actually spoken a lot tonight. I like it when you talk.
Yeah. Can't make you do all the talking.
They found a pair of shoes, but they didn't know who they belonged to. Okay, well, it's been a long day. We got to get the youngins put to bed so you can go to school tomorrow.
If you don't have a snow day.
Yeah. Everything's white outside.
Hope they cancel school.
He hopes they cancel school. Teresa drove the yellow Camaros. She said she was not at the party, but Tony Estes said he saw the yellow Camaro at the party in his statement. And Mark, there was actually at least 5 or 6 people that have reported seeing her at the party. And Byron says, just rain here. I wish it was just rain here, Byron. I still wonder about the cave they sealed so quickly. That one I really wonder about too. Carl, I like the way you talk, Sling Blade. And in an AWP video, it was said Teresa's yellow Camaro was there. Keep thinking he's going to come in and say hi, then he runs off. Are you going to come say hi?
Nope. What? Don't knock that over.
This one is inching closer to the Flanagan theory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, there's just so many of them. They all kind of.
And Mark says, good night, everyone. Tremendous effort today by Dennis, Megan, Brent, Brandon, and Katie.
Good night, Mark.
Yeah, have a good night, Mark. And again, Brent, Brandon, Katie, awesome job you guys done today.
Yes, thank you guys for doing that.
And didn't the one guy in prison for killing someone in the area kind of tip that he may have killed Randy? Something about, yes, that would be Dan Flanagan. He is currently still in prison for allegedly shooting his girlfriend, and he made the comment that he hadn't lost his temper like that in 30 years, which would have put the time frame in 1988 when Randy disappeared.
Do you want to come say hi?
And Flanagan had a brown truck, yes.
I have a pic of what looks like 2 to 3 cars in that big pond they already searched. Doesn't make sense.
Well, a lot of times coming from the satellite imagery with the angles, the time of day and stuff, and just how water itself distorts the view if you're on the bank looking at it. So it is possible that something like that was going on there.
Okay, Missy, I'll look for it.
So with that, we're going to get the young ones put to bed. Probably head to bed soon ourselves. And thank you very much, you guys, for...
His last part of that comment, but I didn't kill anyone.
Right.
I don't.
So we're going to call it a night. Get them to bed. I'm going to bed soon tonight. There's a couple things that you guys have shared tonight that I want to look into here in just a bit tonight before going to bed. Mm-hmm. And we will be digging in again tomorrow. Thanks for being here with us tonight. Thank you for everything all of you are doing. Mm-hmm. And it's not happening as soon as any of us would like, but working together, I think that eventually, hopefully soon, Randy will be found.
Yes.
And next week's live feed, again, is going to depend on the search we do that day. And we will keep you posted on that, plus the live feed this week when Chrissy's able to come over. And then we will probably break it down to a different case at some point this week and do an open discussion on that.
Yeah.
So with that, thank you, everybody. You all have a good night. Be safe, and we will catch you down the road.
Bye.